Today we are diving headfirst into the deep, dark, twisted world of extreme cinema. Buckle up, because we're about to explore some films that make the Saw franchise look like a walk through the park. You know, for those times when you're in the mood to question your life choices or the state of humanity. Get ready to count down the top 10 most controversial horror movies. Number 10 is The Loved Ones, 2009's high school prom night from hell. It's like the horror movie version of Cake that's just a little too rich. The film plot centers around a girl who kidnaps her crush for a prom night he'll never forget. Mainly because he's too busy enduring unimaginable pain to remember anything else. Some might argue that the film's mix of horror and dark humor is a fresh take on the genre, while others believe it's a bit excessive. Either way, the explicit violence and unsettling offbeat humor make this a Marmite movie, where you either love it or you wish it had stayed on the shelf. Number 9, we have 2007's extreme home invasion horror movie, Inside. This film is controversial because it features extreme and graphic violence that leaves very little to the imagination. The film combines a slasher plot with the level of gore that can be overwhelming. The focus of the story is a woman who must protect her unborn child from a scissor-wielding maniac tormenting her after the death of her husband. It's as if they took the standard horror recipe and added an intense dose of blood and screaming, making viewers question their own sanity for watching. For those who think a film is daring when it has a little bit of suspense, this one is like consuming a ghost pepper. Shocking and definitely not for the faint of heart. Number 8 is the Pyy Tapes, a 2007 film that's like a tour through a horror show's worst nightmare. It's controversial because it combines the charm of found footage with the subtlety of a sledgehammer. This is experienced when a homicide detective finds hundreds of videotapes that showcases the trophies of a serial killer. It's the kind of movie that makes you wonder if the creators were aiming for the most disturbing film ever, or just wanted to see how many people could handle their cinematic torture test. Plus, the whole real documentary angle is a great way to keep everybody on edge. In short, the film kind of makes you think, well, that is definitely something I'll never be able to unsee. Number 7, Salo, or The 120 Days of Sodom, is controversial because you know everyone loves a good romp through the darkest corners of human depravity. It's like the director threw a dinner party with the theme of extreme violence and sexual abuse, and forgot to include any option for the faint of heart. The film's explicit content and harsh critique of fascism makes it a test of endurance for the viewers, as it takes the concept of uncomfortable viewing to its absolute limits. It's as if the director decided that if you thought The Exorcist was intense, he was going to show you a whole new level of cinematic extremity, all while delivering a scathing commentary on power and corruption. Arriving at number 6, Itchy the Killer. This film takes the phrase action-packed to a whole new blood-soaked level. The plot of the film is a sadomasochist Yakuza enforcer comes across a repressed and psychotic killer who may be able to inflict the level of pain that the enforcer can only dream about. That was brutal, just trying to... You only knew how many takes that took. It's like the film decided to mix every imaginable form of violence into a grotesque cocktail and serve it with a side of dark humor. The film's over-the-top gore and bizarre scenarios have sparked debates about whether it's a bold artistic statement or just a shock fest that makes viewers question their life choices. Critics and audiences alike have been left wondering, is this a groundbreaking commentary on violence, or just an elaborate prank with lots of fake blood? Unfortunately, number 5 is a film that exists. Cannibal Holocaust, a 1980 film that's rather unique approach of filmmaking combines the love of gore with the deep, disturbing images of animal cruelty. It's not every day you see a film that checks off both outrageous violence and a real animal death on its to-do list. The film's found footage style makes it feel like a horror movie marathon in an alternate universe where things have gone horribly wrong, leading to bans and legal trouble for the film's creator and director. In the comments below, I have links for all the movies, except for 2 on this list. This is one of them. The fact that 7 real animals died for entertainment purposes on this film, I don't want to support it in any way, so I have not supplied the links to it. Number 4, The Antichrist, a 2009 film that really knows how to throw a wrench into a cozy movie night. The film focuses on a grieving couple who has retreated to their cabin in the woods, hoping to repair their broken hearts and troubled marriage. But the nature takes its course and things go from bad to worse. With its delightful mix of explicit violence, explicit sex, and a storyline that could make Freud blush, it's no wonder it has sparked a bit of controversy. It's like the director thought, let me make a film that combines every taboo subject into one visually stunning package and see who can handle it. Number 3, we focus on the first movie of a series, The Human Centipede, the first sequence. Honestly, I thought the second one was worse. This 2009 film is basically a surgical horror movie equivalent to a DIY disaster. In this movie, a mad scientist kidnaps and mutilates a trio of tourists in order to reassemble them into a human centipede, created by stitching their mouth to each of their butts. Yeah, that's actually a plot of a movie that generated not 1 but 2 sequels. It's not just that the film features a bizarre and horrific concept, it's also the kind of movie that makes you think, wow, I didn't realize I needed to see that until now. Number 2 slot goes to Martyrs. A 2008 horror film is controversial because apparently some people can't handle their horror with a side of existential dread and extreme violence. This film is about a young woman's quest for revenge against the people who kidnapped and tormented her as a child, which leads her and her friend on a terrifying journey into a living hell of depravity. It's not your typical horror film where the scariest thing is a creaky door. Oh no! Martyrs cranks up the intensity to 11 with its graphic scenes and philosophical musing on suffering. As you can imagine, this recipe for cinematic distress didn't exactly win a spot on the family-friendly movie night list. Instead, this is like a crash course in the you don't need to see this section of your weird friend's horror movie collection. Taking the number 1 spot is a film that I feel should never have been made, a Serbian film. In a world where extreme cinema often tests boundaries, it decides to throw the rulebook out the window and set it on fire. This is the second film whose links I did not include. I just can't get behind this film, and I will say I have never seen this film, nor do I have any intention in ever watching it. I have had trusted people tell me what happens in this movie, and it's so messed up, there is no reason that I can find valid that this movie should have been made. An aging adult film star agrees to participate in an art film in order to make a clean break from the business, only to discover that he has been drafted into making films involving children and dead people having unspeakable things being performed onto them. This 2010 film is like if someone took all the taboo subjects and thought, why not? It features graphic scenes that push the limits on what's acceptable, including some truly disturbing content involving infants. It's the kind of movie that makes you wonder if the creator was trying to win a How to Shock the World award or just wanting to test the limits of human endurance. Many people argue that it's not just provocative, but downright exploitive, serving as a grim reminder that some things should just stay off the screen. So there you have it, folks. Tour through some of the most controversial, extremes, and downright disturbing films in cinema history. Don't forget to hit the like, share, and click the bell, unless you're already scared for your life because of these recommendations. Just remember, if you do decide to watch them, you might want to have a strong stomach and have a therapist on standby. Until next time, keep your horror taste as twisted as you dare, and remember, sometimes it's okay just to stick to cat videos. Thanks for watching.